This is a topic that somebody asked about predictions, or you could call it intuition. And they ask, how real are people who can predict the future? If they have predicted some things that have come true, should we rely on what they say for our future? Is it still possible that Guruji can change their predictions and provide us with a different outcome in life, completely different to what someone may have predicted for us?
Oh, good question. But it poses a question under the question, which is, what is the future? You think you know what the future... If I say, what do you mean by the future? You say, oh, what's going to happen that hasn't happened yet? But I'm going to say to you, the future doesn't exist. In the same way that the past doesn't exist. The past is gone, and the future has not manifested. So in this moment, is the past, the present, and the future are all in this moment. So when, in that moment, in your intuition, you can see one of the possible outcomes, because each action causes a reaction, each sequence has a consequence, and that consequence causes a reaction and a manifestation. So every moment is affected by the next moment, right? You have a moment, and then the next moment. And what I do in this moment, or what I do in the next moment, or what you do in this moment or the next moment, that's what creates the future. So when someone predicts the future, they're having a vision of one possible future. But futures branch. So it's only one of many possible futures. So why is this great desire to know the future? You know, I've never known anybody who didn't want, oh, you know, tell me my fortune. You know, what's going to happen to me? It's like, how boring is that? I would say, help me to be fully present in this moment so I can discover the next moment and experience it. The future, you create it right now through the words you say, through the actions you do. You create the future. We're not victims. We act in that flow and the future manifests. So enjoy the show, you know. What are you going to do? Trust someone else? Well, this person said this was going to happen to me. Now you're trapped mentally in that. And now your actions are decided according to what someone said was going to happen or not going to happen. Forget it.
Yeah, I think people, there's a certain kind of glamour or like they feel like they're getting some power. Like, I want to find out, am I going to be prosperous? How many kids am I going to have? Or are things all going to be in a fair? Do I need to make some change? And so they might say, you know, we predict that you're going to have these.
To be honest, all anyone can say is one possible future. I had a vision and I saw this happening, right? That's one possible future. How many people have had a vision of nuclear war or Armageddon or things being destroyed? That's a very common vision of the future that people have. Maybe people have that vision of the future so that they can take actions to avoid that branch of the timeline. You know, sometimes things are told and seen because in that intuition you want to take an action that will cause a different future. So I say nothing is fixed.